Hello and welcome, everybody. We are about to get started here. Today is Tuesday, and we are going to write some code back on our chatbot project. So it should be another fun one. We're going to do some more ASP.NET Core and C# code. For anyone who doesn't know, my name is Brendan, and this channel here around me is DevChatter. So, hey, welcome everybody. Hey, S&B. Hello, anybody else who is lurking around in chat so far. I'm going to go ahead and bring the bot into the chat room with you all. So I mentioned that we're going to be developing the chat bot here on the stream today. And by that I mean, no, really, the one that's in that chat room is actually the bot we're working on. Which is very brave, I think, personally, because anything I mess up, or break or anything, and as we work on it, that bot's not going to be in the chat room anymore. So always fun. So there it is, talking already. So it has a welcome message that it says when it gets into the chat room, and then it also has a background process that it's got running that is a hosted service inside of ASP.NET that is actually what is triggering that hello and welcome that shows up. It's also what's listening for our commands and other things like that. So, and interestingly, I am seeing some stuff in here. The web server's got some failed things, retrying and other such stuff. So we'll see what it does. But it looks like the bot's probably still running. Let me try a couple of commands on it. Yep, it's still going. So. Whatever those errors are, they aren't enough to kill it, and they're not what I'm planning on working on today anyway. As things go in development, for anyone who's not a professional programmer, we can't always fix every bug, and so we have to choose a priority because we can only work on one thing at a time. So today we're going to work elsewhere, and we'll come back for some of those. We have had a few streams where we were just hunting down bugs before, and those are interesting ones, to say the least. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I've got us on our master branch, and I just merged in the code that makes it so that we are running as a full ASP.NET app and no longer as a .NET Core console application. So that's huge. It was a big change I pushed in today. So that is actually going to cause some issues for some of our pull requests that we've got sitting out there, because they were not expecting our app to be a web application just yet. So what we're going to do is this. There's one change that was left that someone wanted me to make inside of this app before we moved on, so I'm going to make that to our ASP.NET Core app. We're going to do an improvement, and I will show you what I'm talking about. In the pull request that I just merged in, we had one reviewer, Machiavello, who came along and gave some feedback on some things. Very good points that he actually found, so I was thrilled, so thank you for taking a look at that. And the one thing left that we hadn't done any work with yet was just a comment about how when we moved all of our dependency injection, all of our IOC setup code into the ASP.NET Core project, we used to have it split up into modules and spread throughout the different parts of the application, where things would get initialized based on what types of values they are. And so we just kind of took all that and shoved it in just kind of to get it to work, because it's a significant change, and so we just wanted to pull it all in. But now it's time that we go and do a little bit of refactoring on that. Hey, Mr. Bubbles, welcome. We are working on our chatbot, and we're going to do a little bit of code with rearranging our dependencies and handling them a little bit better. So initialization code, startup logic, that sort of thing. But Mr. Bubbles, that does actually remind me, I do want to make sure that I let everybody here know that I am planning to do some special event streams coming up here, and I am going to toss the information for that up here. So I have some special events planned. So there's an events tab if you're on Twitch, and you'll see that, and you'll see that I scheduled some Learn to Code in C# events. So if you or anyone else you know is either a beginner programmer or interested in that sort of thing, it is worth checking out. So if you go there, you'll find them, and specifically the ones that we are looking at are all in the Learn to Code series. So I made a series for this, which you'll notice when you click on one of these, you end up in the Learn to Code series, and you can see all the scheduled ones. So I will post those two links in chat, so if you have anybody that you know that would be interested in learning to program in C#, tell them about it, and we're actually going to be doing a few of those. They should be good for beginner programmers as well as more experienced ones, and certainly someone that doesn't know programming at all will find value in it. So we are going to be using VS Code for that and doing C# code. So should be fun. Everything starting off basics, lots of explanation. Should be fun. Okay, so that aside, so I want to fix up those services that we've got and push that in. Sky Hoshi, welcome. Woohoo. I'm guessing you're excited about those events. I hope everybody is, actually. They should be fun. So here's what I want to do. Let's jump over into the startup.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
And Greendorf, welcome. DevChatter hype indeed. Hype. 2 months. Awesome. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for the subscription. That is pretty awesome. Let's make this a good one then. Okay, so here is the thing that Machiavello was pointing out. So right now, we took all these, we had everything grouped into modules. When we moved it over to ASP.NET Core's startup method, we did not get our services set up all that nicely. So what I want to do is actually set these up correctly. And I am going to show you an example. So notice here, there's a couple of things I want to point out. So there's add hang fire, which is right here. If you, we don't want to actually go to the definition on that because it's now going to pull this. So essentially, here's the deal. So when we add hangfire, it has inside of its library this code. Yes, we're looking at hangfire's code. This is a NuGet project that we have included. And it has an extension method for a couple of things. It's able to essentially get all of these set up. Excuse me. Desubscription? What are you talking about, Sky Hoshi? Okay, so essentially what it's able to do is you'll notice that it is adding a bunch of services to our service collection when we call this method. So if we had all of this code inside of that startup method, we would all be really, really scared of the setup. However, it's not so bad when all you have is services.addHangFire. Oh. Yeah, exactly, Greendorf. That's why we're going to clean it. Yeah, oh, you're talking about the addHangFire one? Yeah. So it's hidden away so we don't actually have to see that. But what we want to do is we want to hide away some of our code as well, because we have a wall right now as well. So both of them do. So here's what I want to do. I propose we go over here into this extension. We create our own extension for this. So service collection extensions exists as a pretty basic one. And I kind of want to make this simple commands extension, or maybe commands extensions, something like that. Yeah, exactly. And that's why we're cleaning it up. We're cleaning it up. That's what you do. That's what you do. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to set this up as an iServiceCollection, and we're going to say, so that one was add simple commands from repository. So that one I think actually looked nice. If we take, well, let me comment this out before we go look at that reference. But if we take a look at this, we have this method here, add simple commands from repository, instead of this code in there. Now I want to do some similar things with our other ones. So I want to add commands and games and things like that separately. So, for example, let's add currency commands. So we're going to add currency commands as a group. And this needs to take in a service collection. So as a quick explanation for anybody that doesn't know how this works, we have a static method here. The static method returns back a service collection. It also accepts a service collection, so the idea being the same one we pass in is the same one we return. So I am going to return services. So this value basically gets maintained so other things can use it. 1 second. And I'm back. Okay, so what makes this an extension method is not the fact that it's a static method, and it's not the fact that it's returning the same object. What makes it a static method, an extension method, is that we use the keyword this for that first parameter. And what that does is it allows us to treat this as if it were the object that we're calling this method on. So this method appears to be a member of this object. And that's sort of how it works. So, yeah, Greendolf, it's kind of like pipes. Yep, it's just pipes. Yep, we pipe the output of one thing into the next one. So you're just, yep, it works just like that. That is a very good explanation. So if that's what someone knows, that is the best explanation of it. Okay, so add currency commands is going to be our method out here. So I am going to say services.add currency commands. And notice that this is available. So see how this method, this static method I created, is actually available as a member type of that object now. So that is actually the power of using an extension method. So I didn't even pass the parameter because it was passed here. Sort of the way it works in C#. It's kind of neat. Okay, so what I want to do now is find the currency commands in here and move them in there. So the currency commands that I see are tax, give, coins, and bonus. So these ones appear to all be currency commands. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to put them in here. Now, if I missed any, we're just going to move them in here, and this will be the place where all currency commands go, assuming we can get it set up like this. And then that'll be a little nicer. Not all of the methods are necessarily going in that same class file either. If we find any that should go somewhere else, we will put them somewhere else. But for now, we're going to get this cleaned up. So what I want to do next is maybe make so that did currency. I think I want to do stream commands, so stream meta commands or something like that. So let's do that. So we're gonna duplicate this method, get rid of the initialization in it because we already have them in that one. And I want to call these add stream meta commands. So these are commands that in some way have to do with the stream, and we're just going to move those in here as well. So what I'm going to do is this: services.add stream meta commands. And the stream meta commands I see are the top command, the uptime command, the streams command, the shoutout command, probably the schedule command as well, so let's move that one up to these ones. Is quote one of them? Yeah, we'll call quote one of them. That's kind of a stream meta. So we'll bring that in there. Okay? So upon moving these in here, there's an interesting thing that happens. Over on this side, we shrink down this method a little bit. We need to get it down a lot smaller still. But the first thing you notice is that it's not totally clear what is in each of these, like what qualifies as a currency command. So I want to give this a little bit of information. So I am going to give this a summary right here. I'm not going to bother with detailing what the parameters are on that because it's an extension method. Herod Tag, welcome! And that's 3 months in a row. Hype, hype, welcome. Everybody spam those hype emotes in the chat for Green Dolph and Herod Tag with their multi-month resubscribes. That is fantastic. Oh, and that was what Sky Hoshi heard as D-sub. I said resub, as in, like, they re-upped their subscription. Hype, hype. Very nice, Cass. Okay, so I wanted to define what the currency commands are. Adding, removing, what is this? So we are registering the commands for adding, removing, checking, and managing tokens. And then these are... So these are all the commands related to register commands dealing with how to describe these. Registering commands dealing with the stream. Shoutouts, lists of users, and quotes. Okay, and at some point we could actually list what they are in there so someone could see it without going to it, but keep in mind that because it's pretty easy to just click the go to definition on these, so if I want to see what's in this, more than just mousing over that and seeing registering the commands for adding, moving, checking, managing tokens. That's kind of small text in there, but that's what's in that little pop-up, that text we just wrote. So we can see that with just mousing over it, and if we want to see the actual code, all we have to do is go to definition on it, and we can see that code. So it's nice and easy. And Rubix, hello, welcome. Man, we got all the we're getting all the nice sub people in chat today. Quick question, can you have a different model for a partial view inside ASP.NET Core? Oh, do you mean, so yeah, no, I will absolutely. Zenobobby, that is a great question. So I believe the question you are asking is about, you're wondering, so inside of Razor pages, we have a page model object that is on your page. And then when you are in the Razor side of it, so you're in the view, so this is the Razor page, this is the page model associated with this Razor page, as defined right here as the model. And you are wondering, if I did a partial view instead of a full view here, can you bind to a different model? Is that the question? So you are going and doing like... it wouldn't be a Razor page, you'd be doing so you're including a partial on there. That is a great question. I don't know if you can. I actually don't know, I haven't tried it. So I would assume that you would just give it the model that you wanted to bind it to, but I haven't tried it. So, awesome, thanks Katrina. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I believe you should be able to, but I haven't tried it, so I can't give you a definite on that. So, do you need to do anything other than just passing the model to it? You can include the partial model in the page model. So, I think what Katrina's talking about would be just adding that class on here and just saying the partial model and including it as an object on here, and then you pass it to your partial when you create it. And I assume that works just fine, Katrina? Awesome. Yep. Sounds good. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, no problem, Zettel. That is what we are here for. We are all here to learn more things. Keep in mind, you're not the only one that gained that information there either, so we all do. That's why we're a community. Twitch greater than Stack Overflow. Yeah, well, the nice thing is that that I can, confirm that yes, that definitely was the question he asked much faster. Okay, so we wired those up. We did stream meta commands. There are probably more stream meta commands, like actually the help command, I think, is a stream meta command almost, but that might be that we do stuff more related to commands themselves. So help, commands command, and the alias command all feel the same. So these feel like some kind of a grouping of stuff. Have I mentioned you are all awesome today? WorldWake, you are wondering how to deploy C# and Razor pages. You want to host your site somewhere other than your own computer. WorldWake, do a publish. This is one option you can do. And you can do a .NET publish as well. And there are some docs articles on it. I don't have the stream scheduled for us to show that one yet. We are going to do it when we deploy the bot somewhere, so you'll see it when we do that. And yes, the Stack Overflow community is... Stack Overflow answers a lot of questions, and it's super valuable, but its community is not always the nicest, so it's really hard to ask questions there. It's not a friendly place. Okay, so... logger adapter. I'm okay with those being in here, but I want to get... Oh, actually, currency-related stuff, like the currency generator. This is absolutely a currency item. So, currency commands. Whoops. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm gonna get all the games together. When is the C# Live beginner tutorial thing? Oh, yeah, Rubik's. I talked about that already once in the stream, but I will go ahead and link that again. I really should do one of these now. What's my... Do I have a learn command? No. If you want to learn C# with us, join one of these events. Okay, let me go ahead and enter that. Oh, whoops. I messed up that command. And actually, is the bot currently running anyway? Bot might not be running. Hang on. Let me start the bot up again. The bot closes sometimes because I'm saving files and it's like rebuilding and things, and it's like, oh no, I don't want to be running. You're messing with me. So the web bot handles a little bit differently than our console app does. This one, instead of erroring out because I'm trying to manipulate the files, it does this kind of stuff. You see, is there a learn? Ah, okay, so we did have a learn. I have an empty command? That's awesome. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to remove that learn for now. Removing the command learn. CMD, add, learn. And we're going to say everyone. So adding a learn command for everyone. Ooh, the old one's still running. Alright, sounds like I got a bug to fix. Let me add that to the list. So, issues. New issue. This one is a bug. Because this used to work. So this will be a web project bug that we created here. Load, there we go. Alright, after adding, removing commands, and handler needs updates. When I moved learn and added a new one, calling it still called the old one. So simple commands aren't refreshing. Seems like the simple okay, so we got to get that in there. Yes, the awesome Q&A. Thanks everybody. The awesome QA. I mean, that was very nice, very good. Thank you for the assist, much appreciated. So now when we type learn, hey, there it goes. Okay, and that should open up this. So we have these on the schedule. You can click to get reminders on all of them if you're interested. I think you can get a reminder for the whole series, or you can get reminders for the individual events. And that, I believe, is in addition to following the channel. So up to you if you want to do that. But it should be a nice way of getting those messages and not missing out on the events. Okay, so for now, I kind of want to just make a method that does all the game initialization. And I don't just want to keep adding in things here, because that's just moving the code to this spot. But what I am going to do is this. I'm going to make a new class that we're going to call game registration extensions. So the deal with extension methods is that C# allows you to use them as long as you are as long as you include the namespace that they're in. So what that means is that I can put these in a separate class next to the other one, and I don't have to do anything extra, because these two classes are side by side here and are going to have the same namespace. So that means that that namespace is actually already in place, so I don't even have to write the one line of code that it takes to make this work. So I'm going to have ServiceCollection, and then we're going to say add heist game. Now, because I want this to be an extension method, I am going to take in this ServiceCollection services. And now this is an extension method that does nothing. Rubix, is it a no-brainer to not use ReSharper, or would that be the reason me not to use it? So on that one, I would say if a tool speeds you up or makes you a better programmer or makes your job easier in some way, use the tool. So for example, if ReSharper gets in your way because you don't like programming the way that it works, don't use ReSharper. If it does help you and makes your job easier, better, makes your code safer when you're doing refactorings, then use it. If you like the way that CodeRush works, in that it uses a lot of templates and helps you build things quickly, and that actually helps you in your programming, then absolutely use that. And I think that goes for pretty much any of these tools that we use. So I have the Visual Studio Power tools in here, and they mess with my tabs and things like that and do a couple of other things that make my setup a little bit different. One of the problems I have with that is that it makes it slightly different for you guys, but I do live coding on here, so I want to make sure that I actually do it well. One sec. And hopefully I'm not coming down with a cold or anything, because that would not be fun. Okay, so we're going to jump over here and move these. So now we move the heist game over to here, so we're going to say add a heist game. Is there any other setup that goes into the heist game? Settings factory. I think that we just want to have be here. So I'm going to move this up with these. And I kind of want... Oh, actually, I want to move it with these almost. Do all the config and everything like that. So I want to like configure configuration or something like that in there. Okay, so the Hangman game could be another game extension. We'll do the same kind of concept for this one. So we're going to say add Hangman game. There we go. Hangman. So we're going to bring that one in. Rock, paper, scissors can be the next one. Add rock, paper, scissors. So what's nice about these being grouped the way they are, what we can now do is have either configuration or data that determines whether or not we call these methods. So we could have a, Hangman enabled, heist game enabled kind of flag, and then that determines whether we even call this. Because if we don't call these methods, these don't actually end up in our system at all. Rubik's, you can see a nice reason to live stream code, so you can say out loud what you're doing. If I would be doing that at work, people would think of... Yeah, so it is definitely a weird thing to talk about your code. Hang on a second. I don't know whether you all could see my green screen shifting around or anything, but this little guy was knocking the green screen around. He said, "Hey, pay attention to me! It's a cat stream, not a coding stream. You spelled it wrong. Cat stream." And yep, cat stream. Okay, so anyway, hopefully he doesn't knock my screen around again. We'll find out. But it looks like he's settling onto a chair, so... yes, everybody wakes up when there's an animal. Yeah, no one was talking until they heard that I'd picked up my cat, and then they're all like, "Ooh, let's pay attention. Good stuff going on here. Good stuff. There's a cat." So... yeah, gotta look at the kitty. Exactly. Who wouldn't want to see the cat? Okay, alright, so, add Twitch connection, I think, is the next thing that I want to do. So we did some of our game registration. Actually, let's get the other games first. What are the other games? Game. Quiz game and roulette game. Alright, game. Duplicate this. Add quiz game. Nuke. Add roulette game. Nuke. Alright. Quiz game right there. And a roulette game right there. Okay. So now, where did I put the game add commands? Did I call them yet? Add hangman, add rock, paper, scissors, add heist. Nope. So what I am going to do for now is do this. Watch this magic. Watch this. Public, static, ServiceCollection, add all games. Then we're going to say this, ServiceCollection, services. Boom. And we're going to say services dot add heist game, add hangman game, add quiz game, add roulette game, and what's the other one? Hangman, rock, paper, scissors. And yes, I saw the duplicate thingies that it put in here. Thank you. How did you know I needed extra parens? More than I did. You were wrong. That's how. Okay, so now, after that, we just return services. Done. And technically, I could actually do this all as one line, because I could just do, like, add this, add this, add this. So, why don't I do that? So, remember that we said we were basically piping these. So, this is called a Fluent API. So, I can actually just do that if I wanted. Albaz Geek, welcome. Thanks for following. Internet in a nutshell, yeah. Yeah, Rubix, this absolutely works. So the reason why is that the services object that I pass in is the same one returned. So this method returns that same services object, and then this returns that same one, and so each one is just calling off of the same one that returns each time. So it's kind of a neat trick. Why did I do it? Well, because we can. And I want to show you guys neat things that you haven't seen before. So that's kind of the point. And it's not bad either, right? I could have done that right here. I could have just called that same thing the same way. The other neat thing is that these all work the same way. So I could do the same thing down here with one of these, right? I could do that, and that's fine also, because they're all returning that same value. So that's just the way this technique works. Goes pretty well. Okay, so I want to add the Twitch services, so let's do this. I'm gonna duplicate those lines, do that, and I'm gonna call this Twitch registration extensions. And we're gonna say add TwitchLib classes connection. Add TwitchLib connection. There we go. Return services. You're not going to be able to attend the first lesson, but I'm going to watch the whole VOD and be back at episode 2. Sounds good, Rubix. Yeah, I don't expect that everyone can attend all of those, so they will intentionally not require having attended the previous one. So anyone could show up to any of them and still, you know, be able to do stuff. We'll cover different things in each one, so there's value in having caught the earlier ones. So in some of them we'll focus on some, you know, certain types of stuff. So I haven't scheduled out which types of things are going to be in each one. That's why they're just called like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 right now. But do expect them to get more details as we get closer. So for anyone who didn't notice, this Saturday is when I have scheduled our first Learn to Code stream. So yes, the intention is to answer a lot of questions, Rubix. And I'm hoping that we can have some of our other regulars, though not mandatory, but it would be nice if some of our other regulars show up, because I'm sure that they would also enjoy answering questions for new programmers as well. So let's go ahead and move all the twitchy stuff over there. So Twitch API. And we may find that we need to pass in some things. If we do, that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and... That's Twitch streaming, Twitch chat client, Twitch API. These all seem like Twitchy things that we want to move over to here. And we'll see if there are any values I needed to pass in, like full config. There we go. So that needs to get passed in. What config were we actually using? Twitch client settings. There we go. So this is our parameter. Twitch client settings. Twitch client settings. There we go. Okay. So we're going to say services.add Twitch lib connection, and this is going to pass in full config.twitch client settings. So I hope you all saw what I just did there, how I passed this in as a parameter to the extension method, and because it's the second parameter and it's not the this parameter, it actually is a parameter on this method. So we actually pass that in as one of the arguments now. Okay, so let's jump back here, and I want to get some of our other pieces in there. So we're going to move the Twitch follower service in here. So I want to get all of our various Twitchy items in here so that all the Twitch registration, everything that connects us to Twitch is done in there. Followable system, that's part of Twitch actually in this case. It doesn't say it is, but it is. We need to, like, there's some changes that we need to make to our system to make it more adaptable and more able to work with, say, other chat clients and not just the Twitch one. Command cooldown, command handler, subscription handler, the subscriber handler. That one needs to be part of this because followable system and subscribing are both in this case related to Twitch for now. And actually, so is streaming platform. I think. Does it actually have... Yeah. I think this is the one that I actually want to move to. This one's not, actually. So we're going to pull that one out. So we're going to leave it here. Logger adapter, settings factory, chat user collection, hangfire automation, alias help commands, blah blah blah. Okay, so service collection one. So this is the add simple commands from repository, add currency commands, add stream meta commands. Now I want to do public static ServiceCollection, add command system, add command handling, add command something like that. ServiceCollection. We're going to call it services. Close that. Return services. And there we go. So now we're set up to move all the various servicey stuff in here instead of all the command stuff in here instead of having it out there. So aliases, help, commands, command list, command cooldowns, command handler, all of these are going into this method. That's a little bit nicer now. That was weird that it put that in there like that. I didn't want it to do that. That was wonky. I don't know if you guys just saw what it did there. Oh, no, I had to have it in there. I forgot because I'm doing it like that. So this has to be... Yeah, okay. Alright, well, in that case, we're going to do this. There we go. single-lettered that thing because it's inside of a lambda expression. I don't normally like single-letter variable names, but inside of a lambda expression right here, that's our service provider. So I do want to call it like that. So this gets all the ibot commands. So I actually think that that might be the one where we want to call the other one. But I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that. For now, okay, well, might need to change how that works, because it's actually important that that one run before the other one. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. So we've gotten a bunch of this stuff moved out. It's not done. It's still messy, but it is nicer than it was. So I'm going to run this. We're going to make sure the bot still works. As long as the bot still works, we're going to commit some of these changes. So let's try Hangman, CMD, RPS. We're going to try roulette. We are going to give Rubik's 100 coins. Congratulations, Rubik's. You just got 100 coins. And now we're going to tax Rubik's 50 coins. Sorry, Rubik's. Love how you say. You got to remember, unearned income gets taxed 50% here. So, let's see. Whoa! I survived roulette. Look at that, everybody! I survived roulette. That's a win. That's a win right there. Let's see. Do those commands work? Okay. So it looks like everything is working. Automate the tax based on location. Yeah, we'll just figure out where you're coming from and find out the tax, and yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so as Rubik said, we now want to commit right onto the master branch. We definitely don't want to make a new branch, because that's crazy talk. Cleanup services. Cleanup aisle services. Also get the street address, name, and bank account. Yes, we need to know their social security number, birth date, and any other identifiable information about them before we do that. So that's how that works. So this is what we deleted out of that file. So moving that code. So move service registration out of startup. That's not all the cleanup we need to do. We should do more than just that, but that is a start. And our goal is always to get our code a little bit better than it was. Our goal is never to get the code perfect. If you set your goal of 100% or perfection or things like that, you will not reach it. And you will just spend all your time working on it that way. So you can make, if you want to make your target 100%, just be ready to stop short. Because we as developers have a bad reputation as it is for spending too much time refactoring and building new things. So let's not get in too far to that. Okay, so that is cleaned up a little bit. Now I want to stay out of these. Let's do a little bit of getting here. So we're going to head over to new pull request, and we are going to send in the we're going to do our cleanup services here. So create pull request, move service registration out of startup. So sounds good. And now that should begin doing our automated builds for that. So we'll see how that goes. The next thing that we need to do here is jump over to our deal or no deal game. So I'd mentioned that we were going to be looking at a couple of pull requests. One of the ones that we got recently was from Ace Flameseer, one of our regulars, and he did a really cool deal or no deal game that I want to talk about. I love his implementation. It's really cool. It's kind of weird, but the way a couple of things work, but I like it. So let's jump over to his deal or no deal game, and I happen to know that this is running into a merge conflict when he so here, let me show you. Merge conflict right here. We can't actually merge that in, so yeah, sure, open it and get up desktop. Oh, you already did? Okay, cool. But how do I tell it that I want to merge in the other thing? Is there a way to just do that? Branch, update from default branch. Cool. I'd never clicked that button before, that's new. New to me, I should say. Okay, so the problem we ran into is that I deleted DevChatter Bot Core Module.cs because we don't use it anymore. You're scared to click new buttons, Rubix? Don't be afraid of new buttons. You just click the button and you hope that it doesn't cause any problems. Okay, so we're going to reload this. So I have a feeling I know what the change was. So let's jump back over into his code. And if we go to module.cs, so right here, he just added his new commands. So I am going to do that same thing in our startup method. That's the one we were just in. Startup. There we go. Oh, hey. I don't know why you didn't see my channel in the channel list. Did you somehow get unfollowed? James Skyer. And isn't it like super early your time? I thought it was like 2 a.m. or something like that. So the problem is if I modify this file, we're going to run into the same kind of problem that we did a moment ago. Oh, okay. Then you lose your 4 a.m. Oh, sorry, it wasn't. Wow, I was off in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's super early. Yeah, see, 9 p.m. Ah, so Rubix is around the you're around the place where a lot of the stream is. Central European summertime, we'll say. Okay, so I want to go before any of the changes we made. So that's like here. No, actually, I want to put it here. So we are going to say services. There we go, services that. This was as implemented interfaces, and this was as self. Okay. Which tells me that this one has an interface. This one has a game command that it is. There we go. Okay, great. Okay, 4 a.m. Yeah, Europe. Yeah, UTC +2. Germany. Yep. Call me James if you can't read my name. Yeah, I can't read your name, so we're going with James. Can someone tell me how to write in colors? Thanks. Oh, WorldWake, that's awesome! Glad to hear you managed to deploy it. So James, where are you? Is that Korean? What? Is that where you said you are? Yeah, exactly, Greendolf. Hype for the successful deployment of WorldWake's app. Ah, okay, there you go. Hype, 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 hype. Successfully deployed application, and it's not a Friday, which is the best thing. You don't want to deploy applications on a Friday. Never deploy applications on Fridays. Never, ever, never, ever, ever. Okay. So, the other thing that I want to look at while we're here, as soon as this is done, I'm merging it in because I don't want to create the next conflict. So as soon as that's done, I'm clicking the merge button. Okay. I game command. It wasn't done, was it? No. Branches up to date. Good. Yep. Hype, 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 hype. Yeah, see, so what I'm told I'm supposed to do, James, if there are ever any Koreans or anybody who knows anything about Koreans on my stream, is I'm supposed to, like, reach into my pocket and then, like, pull out my hand like this or something and do, like, this finger hurts thing. So that's what I'm supposed to do if there are Koreans on the stream, which is kind of funny. So, no, Rubik's, I'm not clicking the button early. Good try. Good try. Arid Tag, are you in the chat? If you are, chime in and let me know. Cause Arid Tag will kill me if I click that button. Ah, there we go. Now I can click the button. Do this. It's moving those into there, moving those into there. Do. Yeah, see? People are gonna kill me if I click that button anymore. So now we're back here, and we've got this that I want to click another button for. So, here's what we're gonna do. So this should resolve that. Where is that? DevChatter Core? Something or other? This file is here, but it's supposed to be a deleted file. Okay, now when I look at the code, that's been deleted, and that I think is what is supposed to be the case. Oh, you lived in Canada for a while, that's fun. Yeah, no, I assume anybody that's in my stream understands English pretty well. At least well enough to understand a stream that's entirely in English. Because obviously doing the stream in English is all that makes sense. Because otherwise I would have to speak in, I don't know, how many different languages do we have in here? Like a dozen at least. So, that'd be really crazy to try and do any other language. And my German's not so good. My Korean is worse. Alright, so if this all builds and runs... Nope. Don't want to commit yet. What is still broken? So apparently there were some other things that are not conflicts per se, but changed enough that they don't work just yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this equal to name of, and then that, and then I'm going to go to the other one as well. So I forget why these actions needed names, but they've got them for some reason. I did this code so long ago that I'm just going to put that in there for now and trust that that works. And then once we merge this, I'll take a look at them. I just want to not, so we're resolving the merge conflict, and I don't want to resolve this with any broken code. So we're going to fix the errors first, and then complete the merge. So that file gets deleted, these update, and then I am going to merge that in, and hopefully it works. We'll see. So that is the merge of master into this. Merge branch master into this pull request. So now that I've done that, I want to do one more update from the default branch. At least I think it should work now. Let me jump over to master again, make sure it actually updates with those changes. There we go. So let me pull those in. Now we're going to jump back into the pull request again. And I'm once again going to go in and say update from default branch. Let's see if it works. Okay, looks like it did. So there we go. I might have done that twice. If I did, it's no big deal. There'll be like 2 merge commits on there instead of 1. But that should be enough. So if we hop back over here, see it says it's out of date, so we're going to refresh. There are 13 files changed, 16 commits, and these last 2 are just me doing that merge twice. And let's see, so that's the first merge, and then this is the second one, so this is the new one. And you'll notice there's only 1 marker, so it's going to go ahead and build this. We'll find out if if our automated build approves of this. We did. So, well, we approved of pushing it. We didn't approve of merging it into master yet. We'll see about that one in a moment. Because I want to run this code. Mildly brave, someone on the internet put code up there, and now I'm going to go ahead and run it on my computer. No way this could go wrong. Okay, so looking at this, what did he do? Made an automated action factory. I'm a huge fan of this. Big win. Great, great, great thing right here. Love that he did it. Let's see, next thing. We have a clock, we have some automated action. Yeah, dramatically fails. Alright, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Let me just give it a quick glance, make sure there's nothing else crazy in here. So we have some automated actions for things that'll run more automated actions. I kind of want to merge those into using our existing automated actions instead of being its own thing, but we'll see. So we did his box object, he's got a command for running these. We have deal or no deal command. And then, what else is down here? Anything interesting? Okay. Run. PDX Insomniac, welcome. Not a whole lot is up. We are just
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
welcome to the Subscribers Club, Katrina. Please enjoy your awesome hype emote. Can we get some hype emotes spammed in that chat, everybody? That is exciting. Katrina wants to join in and support the channel. That is fun. And So I am reaching back out to the artist that did our hype emotes because I need more emotes and stuff. So we're gonna get more awesome things in here. So more good stuff. So that is on the way. Do not worry. I think DND is the command, which apparently isn't working yet. DND command didn't work. Is the bot going? Yep, the bot's going. I did that in the startup. Well, let's take a look. I'm going to kill the application. We're going to start it again. Good stuff, good stuff. I always find it funny that it loads that sometimes before the app gets started. And then you just, you're like, oh, thanks. I am wondering if that's our retry failing again. The same one that we had before. Alright, CMD. Is our D&D game in there? No. No, it's not. Oh, you know what? Because this is a game command? Game command is a bot command. Hey, James! Thank you for the 100 biddies. Much appreciated. And PDX Insomniac, thank you for the follow. Oh, man. That was great. I am glad you are all enjoying the stream today. That was a good one. Glad to hear it. I am going to make that a bot command. So here's my concern. I am worried that this only actually came in as one command, and that's why it didn't work. So we're going to find out. I actually don't know for certain. So I assumed that the interface that we had, being an iGame command, implementing the iCommand interface would load in just fine. Now, the part that's different about this is in the... how to explain this? In the code that was originally written by Ace Flameseer, when he wrote that, he was using AutoFact to do the registration. And AutoFact does its registration and registers the type with all of its interfaces. So any of those interfaces would have worked. The way this one does its code, we have to specify the one that we're using. So I do wonder if that's why it didn't find it. Is DND in there? DND's in there. Yep, that's it. That's what happened. Okay. Alright, so I just started a game of Deal or No Deal. So we're testing this out, everybody. So here's what I want you to do. You have 30 seconds. Choose a box. So just type !DND and then pick and then a number. So like DND pick 5. So like, yeah, like that. I think that's the way the code is supposed to work. But I don't know for certain. We'll find out whose is right if this works at all. And we may want to simplify the commands. We're just testing out what... yeah, Casser, exactly. Oh, and hey, Fraggle Rock's here too. Good stuff. Oh, nice job, Fraggle Rock. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I actually don't know. This is our first time trying the code. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe the code doesn't work. It's possible that we have a bug in our stuff and not in his. We just have to figure out how to get it to work together. But it looks like it's not running because it's been a minute. And we should have seen it by now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill the bot. Yeah, between 1 and 15. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Fraggle Rock's just having fun with it. Okay, so the pick box's action, the pick a box operation, Let's see. Yep, we really did have to say pick. But don't worry, Kazru, I have you covered because I am such a nice guy. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because I like you, Kazru, and I want to make sure things are easy for you. So what we're gonna do is this. We will accept that as an option. We will also accept this as an option. And no, I don't think that option broke it. And we'll accept IPK. So there we go. You're all set, Kazru. Type what you need to. I thought that was kind of funny, but that is actually part of the reason why we support these. Is like we can be like, oh, people typo this all the time. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll make sure that when you typo it, that there's a way out of it. Yeah. So James, that one I don't think is probably a typo. I mean, I understand that. You know, the P key is in the top right corner of the keyboard and the D key's down in the lower left, so I can understand how you might, like, fat finger that one or something, but, you know. Yeah. Greendorf, you could you could do that. And we could actually put something in there that automated doing all the permutations of those characters, but I think this gets us mostly covered. Hopefully, if people typo it, you know, in pretty bad ways, well, they can always attempt to fix it. Okay, use that to pick/guess a box. Okay, so clearly what happened is, because I think it was still running, I bet. I actually should have confirmed that. But here's what I want to do. The game commit, no, so inside the deal or no deal game, what should have happened is attempt to start the game, send gamer any starting message. Okay, it was not running, so we came down here. I had that roll. We came in here. So it charged me the tokens. It printed out this message. And then, oh, I wonder how it shuffles boxes. Hang on, I want to read shuffle boxes. Oh, bummer. I don't like that way of shuffling boxes. That's less fun. There's a way of shuffling that I'm a big fan of in C#. I should show you... I'm not sure if I've ever shown you guys the horrible way that I like shuffling in C#. It's not the most efficient, but it is just mind-numbingly hilarious. Occasionally I like things that are just hilarious. No, not .rand. But yeah, you can, actually. So... You're actually not wrong. That is one way to do it. So, actually, I didn't really read. How did this one do it? Oh, yeah, see, look, it's removing and adding them. Yeah. So it is using the indexes, right? Okay. Let me show you the horrible way that you can shuffle things. Wait! Before you leave, Greendorf, let me show you the horrible way you can shuffle things. You're gonna like it. Prices to shuffle is this, right? So shuffled boxes equals prices to shuffle. Oh, there's a nice typo in that. Dot order by, and then you just say GUID dot new GUID. To list. Cannot convert. Wait, what is this? Prices to shuffle. Oh, that's ints. That's the initial prices, and it creates boxes from them. Okay. Well, in that case, you could just do this. Once they're shuffled, just do a select on it as new box. Actually, no, this is I. Either way, that's basically the way you do it. I would need to tweak it. But yeah, if you're gonna take off, yeah, exactly, Greendorf. You just order by a GUID. I just want to point out this wasn't my PR. Yeah, no, Kazru. I know it wasn't your PR. It's yo, because of the shuffle thing. Yeah, no, it was Ace Flameseers. Yeah, I love how everybody notices the shuffle. No, it's a shuffle, like a kerfuffle. It's a shuffle. You guys all know about shuffles, right? We want to just, shuffle these prices. All the best prices get shuffled. Let's see. No more shuffle. No more shuffles. There we go. Okay. Save people from the pick typo. And this is register the D&D command better. Is that N80 TV or Nate Zero TV? I'm not sure, but either way, thanks for following. Welcome to DevChatter. How do you write that word? New word for my vocabulary. Yeah, thanks, Brave Cobra. This is an English class. I am going to teach you all the word shuffle. What it means is to change the order of randomly. Shuffle. So if there is no value, it's random. If there's no value. Actually, what I'm doing is slightly different. You do an order by... Oh, so... Oh, okay. So you're basically saying order by the value, and if you don't have a value, add it in a random location. Is the V already a GUID? Because otherwise, you're random sorting. If what type is V? If it's a string, V is a string. Hopefully, it's a string that has a limited set, because otherwise, the GUIDs are all gonna end up. They'll be shuffled, but they'll all be together. Because a GUID doesn't have a full set of types. Oh, okay. If that's the intended behavior, then cool. I was just noticing, I'm like, there's going to be some behavior on that that I hope is intended. Okay, cool. Alright, so here is what is happening. So when we run the D&D game, I think that our automated action isn't working. And I say that because of this. So I think that we... oh, yeah. Enjoy your food, Greendolf. Thanks for stopping by. Whoops. Game's not running. Because I don't think any of our automated actions are running. So I don't think that's actually a bug with this. I think that... Yeah, I'm starting the bot now. I think that is a problem with our system. So now the bot's back in here. But watch. If I start up a rock, paper, scissors game, I don't think it ends right now. So I'm going to go to the rock, paper, scissors command, where we handle this, and then we go ahead and we say attempt to start a new game, which is what we did here. Once the new game gets started, we call start new game, and then that triggers the 30-second warning, and it also triggers our end game here. So we have our warning and we have this. And I'm not sure our callbacks are currently working. So I want to find out if they are. So I want to go here. So inside of our Hangfire automated action system, we set these up. And I'm not convinced that they're running. Let's jump over to Hangfire. We have a whole bunch of jobs that are retrying and failing, huh? Whole bunch of failed jobs. Unable to resolve service type for string while attempting to activate an automated message. There we go. It can't recreate the message objects. Okay, there's our problem. So Hangfire is not working the way that we want it to. We need to figure this one out. So the recurring jobs we created are working just fine, but these are not, which means that our automated messages we create don't actually work right now in this new world. So, how do we make these work? Automated action system right here. List of actions, run necessary actions. So this is our old one. And this probably worked just fine. Hang fire automation system right here. Where does this get used? There it is. Okay, cool. Found it. So when we add an action to our automated action system, it's calling this code here. It's adding in an action, and we need to look at what these automated actions are. So I'm going to open one up. An automated message seems to be one of the ones that's failing. Automated message doesn't work. It wants a string, interval in minutes. The chat clients it should be able to get. The string it can't get. So we're going to pass in the clock and the chat client. When we insert it, what do we insert? Inside of here, we add automated message, delayed message action, so that's these ones. Hey Bubs, welcome. I don't think that's actually, so we're passing in an invoke of that. I think we need to simplify this. So it's wanting to... So our automated message, it's trying to create this object so it can call this invoke on it. I think that's what it's trying to do, because we told it we wanted to run this on a delay. And so it's trying to recreate this object and call it. But it can't do that because the object is too complicated. So we need something simpler. So what we need to do is we need to say this is an automated message, so instead of Header update. Header update a recurring job. Invoke automated message with an automated message and a name. What's it use the repository for? Invoke automated message. Gets the automated message interval ID and creates the object. Okay. So a delayed message action is the same kind of concept. We don't want to schedule this action. We want to schedule a special action created from this data. So this needs to be a new thing created from this. So it needs to be we need to do the same trick here. We need to say invoke delayed message action. And if what I'm doing here is confusing, I apologize. I really don't want it to be. But this is actually a challenging brain buster right here. So this was a delayed message action dot message. So we might have to change the whole structure of our delayed action system to work better with Hangfire if we're going to use it long term. So let's go ahead and create this method. So we are going to say I'm not sure why the bot keeps arriving, but I'm going to kill it just in case. Goodbye, bot. Alright, so we're going to say new delayed message action. We don't want to go by that value. We want to say message delayed action dot delay time span, I think. No. I think we just want that. Okay, I'm just going to for each underscore chat clients send a message and then message. Let's just do that. I don't like it, but I think that's what we're gonna get. Reverseo, welcome. Thanks for following. Okay, you're back. So what you're doing right now is writing code at home, committing it to a Git repo, pushing, pulling, doing .NET publish, and finally .NET something DLL, which runs the site. Yep, that's correct. Is there some shortcut for writing code to run the DLL without the Git madness? Wait, is there a shortcut for writing code to running the DLL without the Git madness? Committing it to a Git repo, pushing, pulling, and then doing a .NET publish. You mean you're pushing it out to one place, pulling it to another place, and then doing a .NET Publish WorldWake? I'm not sure what your question is there. But yes, there are tools that can automate a deployment process. Okay, so I think that will get us a background task that will let us do our delayed message. I think. We're about to find out. Because I am going to start up a game of rock, paper, scissors. And then I'm going to read your question. So you're pushing this code to a server which serves as the remote for your home computer. Okay, so you are pushing to another Git location that's not, say, maybe it is GitHub, maybe not, doesn't matter. And then you pull from that repo to the exact same computer. I guess so if you're deploying from the same machine you're developing in, then you should just be able to do it without doing the push, although that's a dangerous situation in and of itself. A lot of times it is best to have a second machine that's the one that actually does your build and deploy process, which has the added benefit of not just one developer should be able to use it. So that's one of the positives there. The other thing I would suggest looking at, and I don't know what kind of site this is, WorldWake, but you can look into build services. Some of them have free automated build processes like AppVeyor, and that's actually what we're using here. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna let's show 500 per page. Let's just delete all these jobs for now. We have a one-time callback action. A null ref exception. Well, that's a new one. Let's see what this is. Oh, so I was going to say AppVeyor. So Hangfire is what we're using here, but AppVeyor is the automated build service that we use here. Automated message. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Okay, what was the object reference that wasn't set to an instance of an object? Unable to resolve type for system 32. Okay, that's fine. Delete those. So we did not get our rock, paper, scissors callback. But if I start up a new... So rock, paper, scissors is probably not running. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stop the site again. We're going to start it again. And we're going to find this bug. Because there is a bug here. And we're going to find it and squash it. Maybe, probably. We'll see. My guess on what we're waiting on right now is so I think that is a series of failed retries of trying to call an undocumented API in the Twitch library, which anybody who's been here following the stream for a long time knows that there is one call on the Twitch API that we make, and it is an undocumented portion of that API. So in 2 minutes, it's supposed to do this one-time callback. So that must be our rock, paper, scissors one. Now what I'm not sure about is why we don't have the scheduled automated message one. Maybe it tried to fire it right away? It appears to be the one that's null refing. So let's do this. I just wanted to confirm that all the types were the ones we thought they were. So I'm going to stop the bot. We're going to start it again. I'm going to drop a... Well, I'm going to try to drop a breakpoint, and then the window's going to shift around out from under me. We're going to go ahead and drop a breakpoint. Whoa, not there. Apparently there. Clock is null. because I didn't wire these up. Why is it even running these? That's weird. Let me jump in here. So this is actually where I wanted to go, was right there. So we're gonna debug this again, take a look at where these breakpoints end up catching, and see what we get. So the bot's gonna go in again, and I think Hangfire is starting off calling this. Did I not kill it last time? And I'm gonna stop all these processes. And cancel the build. There we go. So everything's definitely stopped. We're going to start over again. We're going to debug this thing and figure out what the heck is going on here. Ah, so IS Express didn't want to die. So IS Express is a zombie. Let's see if I can't find and kill it. So pro tip when killing zombies is the double tap. So you shoot the zombie once, and then you shoot it again just to make sure that it's really dead. You all might not have known that. There we go. Worked like a charm, the double tap. How many times do you have to arrive to be satisfied? Exactly. It's like the bot just keeps on arriving. Okay, so we're going to let that go. So it apparently built some automated message, which one I don't know. But we're about to look. So I'm not sure what these are, but I'm going to delete them just in case so we don't catch those ones. Jobs, anything ready? So nothing is scheduled, nothing is processing, nothing is retrying. The recurring jobs are just the invoked automated. This is invoke automated message dot invoke. A minute ago, what is that? I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what the difference is between these two. I'm confused by this. Huh. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. All right, let's start up rock paper scissors. So there it goes. We created rock paper scissors. Now we wait. So I have no retries. I have one thing scheduled. Thank you for joining the rock paper scissors game, Kasru. It probably won't work, so there's no worry there. It's what we get for shifting everything out from under on our bot, but once we get this going, I have a feeling it's going to work nicely. Yes. Yeah, lol is not a valid choice in rock, paper, scissors. I did not see the message show up saying that there was only a certain amount of time to join. I know you did. I know you did. Alright, let me just delete all of these things. I just want to clear out our system right now, so I'm just going to delete everything that's in here. Is there not a button to just delete all the deleted jobs? Can't I just nuke them all out of there? So this is just going to keep failing, so let's kill it, because it's failing because it doesn't have the services registered, so clearly it's never going to work. Let's take a look at our commands. What also triggers a delayed command action? Quiz does. What? Quiz? The quiz game not running? Why is the quiz game not running? Quiz game! And the quiz command. It's game registration as an ibot command. Base command. Oh man, I really cast-rooted that one. Maybe it is trying to go. Whoa. What do you mean only public? Whoa. Well, I didn't know it was going to do that to me. I might not use Hangfire at all then. Well, there's our answer, ladies and gentlemen. Our short answer is we need a different automation system. So, I am going to add in a thing about doing that. Whoops. Back up. Go here. DevChatter Bot. Issues. Alright, so this is going to get some labels. This is going to get a label that is an enhancement. That is... where is it? I thought I had code improvement. There it is. Okay. Move from Hangfire to a better automation system. Oh, no, that was our background process. No, that was our background process. Find out. Cannot run private methods from background worker. That was the issue, right? Now I killed the site. Cannot run private methods from background worker. Automation. Background worker. We need to figure out why we can't run private methods in our background worker. And then the next new issue is Hangfire. Not Hangfire and our current automation system don't play well together. We either need to revamp our automation technique or use something other than Hangfire. Okay, what's going on in chat? Ban Hangfire. Yeah. Try the new hosted services in .NET 2.1. Brave Cobra. You talking about these? Yeah, Brave Cobra, these are the things that I just ran into that issue with. So, yep. DevChatter, got 4 people using my Wi-Fi in my house. Time to hack myself. Because I got... FPS, yes. Having 150 millisecond ping in your games is not going to be great. But yeah, we are using a hosted service. That's actually what we were doing for our background work. It works pretty well. That's why I pointed out, like, it's kind of weird. So the technology we're using for this, as Brave Cobra mentions, is ASP.NET Core 2.1 code. So it is pretty darn new. And it works well-ish. But it seems like what we ran into is that it couldn't call the private methods on here. So inside of handle command, wait, is this quiz game? Wait, it got into perform default task, and then one of these couldn't work. We'll try this. Creating your next door uses your Wi-Fi. James, I hope that your neighbors aren't using your Wi-Fi. Because that's never fun. When your neighbor's using your Wi-Fi. Quiz. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're calling the quiz command. I'm going to hit F5 and see where we get to. Alright, so we get inside of here. It's starting up the game, and I think it's this method call? Yep, it can't do that method call. Wow! It can't, that's crazy! I can't call any private methods when we're inside a command? That's just not going to work. That will not work. You got a high refresh rate monitor after 6 years of using a low refresh, and the difference is huge. I bet it is, actually. Why does your nickname have both Asian and English in it? That is a great question, WorldWake. Okay, so system not supported exception. Nothing in that said DevChatter. Oh, here we go. Well, that's the hilarity right there. There's a typo in this message right here. And you aren't using implementation. Well, that's weird. One sec, guys. Let's do this. We're gonna open this up here. Now we're gonna click this and then say Control F RN. There we go. I'm fixing a typo. We'll see if they accept my pull request. Let's see. It's an honest question. Does it throw as soon as you step into the method? Yeah, Fraggle Rock. As soon as we touch that method, it throws, which I think is being caused by Hangfire here, which is weird. That's weird behavior. Why would it be able to? How did you register the service? Yeah, thanks, Casru. Yeah. What is the ID? Do you mean to display the yeah. Oh, that's weird. Remember, the hosted service is really some sort of external process with its own instance of the DI container. That's a very good point, Brave Cobra. The hosted service would have separate initialization. Good thinking. Either way, I'm going to send them this. We'll see if they accept my pull request or not. Okay. So. That's so weird that we got a Hangfire exception on this. Validating the job. Were we adding this as a Hangfire job? I'm going to continue on, and I'm going to run the quiz operation again. I didn't think... Okay, so we handle command. Then we get into here. Create game join window. Did we... how does our background process work? We're not part of Hangfire in our background. When we're doing our background worker, we're not Hangfire, we're something else. So we're over here, inside of start game. Where's our stack trace? Chat command received handler. We attempt to run, process, handle the command, perform default task, and then start the game. That's so weird. Oh, Diddy Brave Cobra, that's kind of funny. Yeah, ours isn't our initialization here, though, because our background service seems to be okay. I'm just confused why we can't call a private method here. What's trying to save this? Right? That doesn't make sense. I mean, it wouldn't make sense that just suddenly making these public would make anything happen. But if I just change these, change everything to be public, would it actually work? Well, yeah, but Brave Cobra, when we're running this, now maybe I'm crazy, but when I get to here, isn't this the full stack trace right here? Well, yeah, because I changed the method to be private. This... Oh, oops, hang on. Only public methods can be invoked in the background. Ensure your method has a public access modifier and you aren't using... Yeah, so I hadn't hit the error yet, but I was at the point where they shouldn't be. The command shouldn't be getting processed by Hangfire. That's the part that's confusing, Brave Cobra. I'm not sure why we're hitting that. Because these aren't Hangfire commands. That's weird, Greendorf. Here, look. When we come in here, this used to be private. So when I called this method, this is where the error would happen. Right here. Oh! It happened this time. Well, that's weird. Oh, because I stepped over instead of stepping in, that's why. Let's try that again. Let's step in as far as I can. Let's jump to here. Step in. I'm just keeping stepping in each time. We're going to add action. Oh, I got it now. Okay, that's where the error is. Nope, yep. We just need to go there. So it's the Hangfire automation system. It was literally this code right here that I did that doesn't work. That was literally it. It wasn't the other ones. So let me jump back over here. Where did I switch these privates to publics? Right there. I must have just stepped over something and then thought it was the private method I was calling. It was that. Okay. That makes so much more sense. So much more sense than what I was thinking was going on there. Let me go ahead and stop the background process. And, yeah, thank you for pushing me to continue on there, Brave Cobra. Much appreciated. Give me 1 sec, everybody. There we go. Nice Pepsi break. Yeah, Fraggle Rock. Alright, the bot is back in the chat. Now let's try this again. Quiz. F5. F10. Hey, it doesn't blow up. Cool. Still not working, but that's fine. I'm okay with it not working, as long as it's not working for the right reason. Scheduled. Tour scheduled. In a few seconds. A few seconds ago? What the? Oh, okay. Cool. Here it is. Okay. You only have 30 seconds left to join the quiz game. Yes! Yes! The automated message went through! Yep, that's right. Greendorf and Kazur just triggered breakpoints on my computer. It's really weird. It's really weird when you guys can do commands and that triggers breakpoints on my computer. It's super creepy, by the way. It's like, alright, yeah, you guys can trigger those. Okay. So those work. Awesome. Now, I don't know, the follow-up one doesn't work yet, so we fixed that. So that's great. I don't actually think we need this piece. We'll find out if we do in a moment. Because what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to kill it and run it again. Sorry, no quiz game just yet. Fix the automated messages. Guess those are the delayed messages, not the automated messages, but either way, basically the same thing. Alright, we're going to run the bot again. Let's see if we can't get a better result this time. Better result, better result. Quiz. I forgot I have to join my game. It didn't automatically join me. That's weird. I can start a game and not join it, apparently. Why not? You only have 30 seconds left to join. Hey, the automated message came through. In the upcoming tutorial streams, we should make... See any of the allows you run C-sharp coding. The new people can run the... Kasru, that's a really bad idea. I don't want to allow a whole bunch of random people to just run code on my computer. You'll never guess why. Yeah, exactly. Likely what we'll do for that kind of thing is... Yeah, exactly. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing at all. Okay, so I don't think the other ones run just yet. But here's what I want to do. We need to find a nice way to create an expression that depends only on a simple object that we can recreate easily. Let me explain. Some stuff got solved there, Brave Cobra. Some stuff got solved. We have one other thing that needs to get resolved, and that is the Hangfire automation system. Now is able to do some of these jobs, but not all of them. The one-time, so the delayed action works now, but the one-time callback doesn't. And I think the problem might be this. So instead of invoke, here's what I'm going to add a new thing here. FZQZ007, welcome. I want to do this. I want to say an expression. Okay, tell me if I just lost everyone here. Whoops. Yeah, so if we're going this route, then we almost have this as the new code. So we have this action that's not getting set, and then inside the constructor, we just need to make it do update currency. So we just say this equals that fat arrow underscore currency generator dot update currency. And I think we can get away with that. It's not ideal, but I think it works. So if we do this in each spot and then just say whatever the invoke is, which is No. Brave Cobra, we're not doing any... There's no doing actions in these constructors. We're not doing anything in them. This is actually the initialization of this. So this is actually the declaration of... You put 100% of your code in the constructor so you can always find it. That's brilliant. Brilliant. What a great idea. Alright. Remove this code from the constructor. Okay, so now I want to say action equals that fat arrow underscore chat client There we go. Yeah, Brave Cobra, exactly. So it's not ideal to be doing that in there, but what I want to do is actually, I want to pull this out somewhere else. So maybe what I should do is not put this on the interface. Maybe what I should do instead is just have it on that one object. So let's take a look at our Hangfire automation system again. So there's the currency update action. The one-time callback action needs to do a one-time callback dot action for whatever the action is, and we no longer actually use that action there. Because the problem is, in order to do that invoke that it's trying to do there, it's trying to create an instance of it. So it is going to its service layer and trying to create that thing. And that's what's not working. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to comment that out for now. We did put it in. Minixoric, however that's pronounced. Welcome, thanks for following. Let's try running this again. So I'm gonna head back into hang fire, and I want to delete all these jobs that we've got. So nothing's going. Everything's fresh. We're right in a basic state right here, and I want to call rock paper scissors. So we now should have. Well, that should have scheduled a job. At least I thought it would. No, we don't do like partials like that, James. Oh, sorry. Bonus. Coins. Try it now. You should be able to join us now. Not that the rock paper scissors game is working because we're currently adjusting our whole automation system, so it may not work at all. We're taking a look right now. Okay, so unable to resolve service for type string. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open this up. We're going to take a look in the table. What's it doing? Yeah, I hope it works now too. We'll see though. So hang fire job. Let's have like a whole bunch, yeah. So it's trying to invoke an automated message, and it's failing to invoke an automated message because the automated message has a string constructor, I bet. We take a look at automated message, yes, message and interval in minutes. Now what's weird about this is that it shouldn't be having this problem because it's supposed to just create these. So if you take a look at the references to the constructor, you'll see it's supposed to be newing these up when it goes to invoke. Supposed to access the repository, pull the correct value, and create it. It shouldn't be doing it any other way. Unless it needs it somewhere. So, not sure. Either way, we're going to need to make some modifications to our interval action system in order to get this thing working. There's definitely something going on with that. Okay. Goodbye, bot. Goodbye. Bot needs work. Bot needs work. DNet Vagos, welcome. Hello. Okay, so let me just go ahead and run that one thing. Okay. Alright, so a couple of things I want to chat about real quick. Some people may know already, but I am doing a series of streams that we're going to be starting, where we're going to start from scratch. We're going to run Visual Studio Code. So for anyone who doesn't know, VS Code. And thanks for the follow, DNet Vagos. We're going to be doing a series of streams about learning to code in C#. So these are going to be beginner level streams. Not to say that these planned ones, so specific, a few ones that we're going to be doing, are going to be focused on them. They're not going to be exclusive to them. So if you know C# a little bit already, you could still attend and have fun with it if you like. But it's one that I'm hoping that people will mention to their friends who are interested in learning to code or talk about it on the interwebs. So we're going to be doing some learning to code streams. The first one I've got scheduled for this Saturday. So we're going to do a few hours of basically introduction to programming and that sort of thing, and we're going to do some simple programs. So I'm guessing Jan Knoll, welcome, thanks for following. And so what we're going to have are easy programs, so think the types of stuff that beginners do. I've got my examples over here, so we're going to start off obviously with Hello World, because why wouldn't we start off with Hello World? These people often have not programmed at all before, especially in C#. DNet Vagos, you can do a lot of things in C#, actually. And Brave Cobra, I've never done it on Linux, but I've done it on Windows. Yeah, so exactly. We'll learn a lot about syntax, and we're going to explain the basics of how things work and what different stuff is in the language. We're going to jump into some simple things like loops and flow control, so for loops, while loops, do while loops, for each loops. We're going to look at how if statement works, how the different structures of those work in the language, and we're going to write simple programs along the way to do that. A few things that we're going to get to are actually, I'm hoping to get people doing some fairly, I'll say, complex things, but still easy. So solving complex problems with simple code that even a beginner can understand is sort of what I'm going for here. So, should be fun. Yeah, DNet Vagos, you could do web scraping with C#, you could build web applications with C#, you can make games with C#, you can build Windows apps with C#, you can do Linux apps, you can do Mac OS apps. A lot of stuff that people do with it is going to be web-based. You can actually use C# along with the Xamarin framework to make Android and iOS apps. So there's a lot of things you can do with C#, it just depends on what you want to do with it. It's a fairly powerful language, and it's well maintained. So one of the nicest things about C# is the fact that Microsoft supports it as well as they do. So their team's constantly improving the language, and I would say, you know, performance increases and other things like that really, really do wonders for it. So if anybody is interested, go ahead and take a look at our events, and you can actually set up reminders for yourself to make sure that you catch the event. And keep in mind that I set this up as a series of events, so if you go to this one and you click on Remind Me for this, it should remind you about future ones as well. So as I schedule future ones. Right now I just have them as episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When I decide what the actual beginner content is going to be in them, so like if one focuses on flow control, one focuses on string manipulation, one focuses on number manipulation, things like that, then you'll know which ones you're more interested in attending. So that's kind of the series that I'm going to be setting up there, and I'm going to do this between our other things. So, for example, yesterday we did a programming kata. So my plan is, roughly speaking, 1 day a week we're going to do a programming kata or exercise. 1 day a week we're going to do a learning to code episode. And then the other 2 days of the week, because we stream 4 times a week, the other 2 days are going to be coding on one of our existing projects. Now, a lot of you probably also know that we have guests here on the stream, and I'll be bringing in guests both for learning to code streams, as well as sometimes the programming exercises and the project. So any given stream could have a guest, and that's sort of the way that I'm doing it, because we do have some guests that would really love to be involved in the learning to code stuff. I'm not planning on doing any web scraping in a live stream, DNet Vagos, but it wouldn't be difficult, and actually some of our code's kind of similar to that. Wait, I have something scheduled for at 2 a.m.? Oh, yeah, your time. Yeah, no. James, that's, look at the times on my screen here. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yes, that's what happens when opposite sides of the world try to coordinate. I have definitely had to work with teams of developers in Asia. I've worked with India a lot. I've worked with the Philippines, and I can tell you those schedules and meeting people is like, you're like, okay, well, we've got like 11 hours difference and 12 hours difference and whatnot, and you're like, this is crazy. So yeah, so those are the start times that we've got for now. That's not to say that they won't shift a little bit. Most of the votes that I got, people tended to prefer Monday and Saturday. So most of our Learn to Code streams will be on Monday and Saturday, unless I start getting a lot of feedback about doing streams at other dates. So for now, Mondays and Saturdays are going to be our Learn to Code streams. Where am I from? I'm in the United States. And DNet Vagos, if that is your time, then I am assuming you are somewhere in Europe. But that is not necessarily true. Okay, so what I need to set up now is I want to give everybody a quick explanation of setting up VS Code. So anybody who is one of those beginners that is in here and does want to make sure you get set up with VS Code, or even if you're not a beginner but you do want to follow along and you have not yet installed VS Code, my recommendation to you is you go to this website. You go to code.visualstudio.com and you download the appropriate code for whatever system you're on. So I am on Windows, so I might install the Windows x64 installer and click on the stable one or the green one if you have the option, or probably the main button works because it should be able to figure out what OS you're on, and it will download this, and then you should just be able to run this executable. And when you do it, it's going to pop up this fancy little wizard that you're just going to click through and you're going to accept after having fully read those instructions. And then you're going to just go ahead and do the install of VS Code. Now, I am not actually going to click install because I already have VS Code installed on my computer. However, once you do that, you will have VS Code installed, which I will go ahead and run. And I think it just is going to probably preload our website. Yeah, that's all it's going to do, which is fine. And then I'm going to tell it that I want it to close that. So this is VS Code. This is an editor. It is a text editor that we're going to use for writing some C# code together. And what we're going to do is have everybody open up a folder and work on it. The nice thing is there is a built-in terminal in this, so we're actually going to be able to open up VS Code and have everybody just run inside of this is going to be the plan. So they'll be inside of this interactive development area. And yes, James Sky, if anyone wants to follow along using Visual Studio instead of VS Code, that is perfectly fine. The code's going to work well in both places. This just gives a chance for some of the developers that want to learn VS Code to also dig around in there. And obviously for the new programmers, people just learning C#, following along in VS Code is going to be much easier than following along in Visual Studio. I don't want to make them do that install. Nothing like saying, yeah, we're going to have you code. Now just install this 10 gigabyte application on your computer that's going to require 8 gigs of memory in order to run. And yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install that update. But yeah, that is the plan. I am going to get a video out with the basic setup instructions so that we can get people set up before the stream starts. But that is the plan. The other things going on that I need to tell you guys about, we're going to have a stream on Thursday, which, again, that does not surprise anybody in the least, because we usually have a stream on Thursdays. Because we do streams on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So as I said, Saturday this week is going to be our Learn to Code in C# Episode 1. And then I don't have anything specific planned for Thursday, so we'll do some kind of fun project work together. We'll figure that one out. And then next week, we are going to have another Learn to Code stream. So I'm actually going to line the first couple up to be pretty close together. And the hope then is that most people can get to one of those. And yeah, that's currently the plan. Other things I want to mention, as you guys all probably guessed, all the source code that we do on the stream here is actually out on GitHub, so you can go to github.com/devchatter and check that out. You can also check that link right there. If you are interested in chatting with any of us after the stream, there are a bunch of us that are actually over on the Discord, and we do chat from time to time about different tech-related stuff. You can find these links down below the stream as well. And if you are interested in catching any of our earlier videos to see how we built some of these stuff, there's a lot of good stuff about how we were setting up the previous automation system that we're currently replacing, how we set up a lot of the games that we built, the commands and things like that. And if you want to see stuff about our file structure and how we were building things, you can find that in the early videos that are on our YouTube archive. So, DNet Vagos. The soundboard project is actually one that we started a long time ago and we have not worked on lately, and we've got some of our regulars were yelling at me for a while to get back to doing that one, and I might go back to doing it. The short answer is, it is actually a system tray only application that we were going to build early on, with the plan being that you would just right click on the system tray to configure it, and so like you would make adjustments and choose what keyboard shortcuts would trigger which sounds, and then once it's running in your system tray you have access to keyboard shortcut driven sound effects, which was going to be fun. But the problem I had with it is that it was hard to show you all anything I was doing in the system tray, because the window that you guys see here, all of this, it doesn't have a system tray because I don't want to take up the space. So that made it hard to do that application and have you guys actually watch it in a nice way. And I came up with a couple of solutions for it, but either way, I don't think it works well for streaming. So I think it'd be more interesting of a project to look at the code of than to actually build while we're on stream. Game Tracker is a web application where we are tracking board game plays. So essentially, you and your friends play a board game, you can record what game you play, and who wins, who loses, things like that. And we've got some other features planned for it. So that one's one that we're definitely going to be working on some more. I actually have a guest that I've had lined up for months now. By lined up, I mean he's ready to come on as soon as I get Game Tracker to the point where we're ready to have him come on. So Game Tracker is one that I have had some internal pressure to get back to and get working. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So I mentioned that stuff. If you want to check our old video, our newer videos, they're in here in Twitch, and take a look at that in the videos section, right up above me, right around here. Whoops, not clips, videos. This one. So you can catch all of our videos on here, including today's, which no one has watched today's yet. Surprise, that's because it's live, so why would they be watching the video? But if anything's not in here, check our YouTube, and that's where you'll probably find those. So we have a lot of interesting content that we have built over the months of streaming, and anyway, I will catch you all on Thursday, and we will do some more coding then. Good luck, Kasru. And I will have more advice for beginners with C# on Saturday, DNet Vagos, so catch us then. Sounds great. And I will see everybody on Thursday and once again on Saturday. So make sure to set your reminders so that you don't miss the stream. And happy coding, everyone. Have a great day.